Have you ever sat on the edge of your bed at 2 a.m., staring into the darkness, feeling a weight on your chest, so heavy that you can barely breathe? It's not a physical weight. It's the weight of expectations, the weight of trying and trying and trying, and feeling like you are getting nowhere. It's that quiet, terrifying voice in the back of your head that whispers, "Maybe I'm just not good enough. Maybe it's time to stop." If you are holding that heaviness right now, if you are standing on the edge of quitting, whether it's your English studies, a career path, a relationship, or a dream you've held for years, please, just listen. Give me 30 minutes. Do not close this video yet, because I didn't write this for the successful version of you. I wrote this for the tired version of you, the version of you that just wants to rest. Welcome to a very special deep dive episode of Mira's English podcast. I am your host, and this is your safe space. A space where we don't just learn vocabulary, but we learn how to navigate the complex emotions of life through English. Today, we are not talking about grammar rules or exam scores. We are talking about resilience. We are talking about when you feel like giving up. Let's be honest. We live in a world that is obsessed with success. We scroll through social media and see the highlights. We see the fluent English speaker who learned in 3 months. We see the entrepreneur who made $1 million overnight. We see the perfect bodies, the perfect travels. But nobody posts about the nights they cried in frustration. Nobody posts about the 100 failed interviews. Nobody posts about the days they stared at an English textbook and felt like their brain was made of fog. We hide the struggle. And because we hide it, when you struggle, you feel isolated. You think, something must be wrong with me. I want you to know something fundamental right now. The urge to quit is not a sign of weakness. It is a sign that you are human. It is a biological response. Your brain is wired to protect you from pain, from discomfort, and from energy loss. When you push hard and see no results, your brain hits the emergency brake. It screams, "Stop! This is dangerous! We are wasting energy!" But here is the secret that separates those who achieve their dreams from those who live with regret. You must learn to negotiate with that voice. You must understand that the feeling of giving up is usually the darkness before the dawn. Why do we want to quit? Have you ever asked yourself that? Is it because the task is impossible? Usually, no. Usually we want to quit because of one specific thing, the gap. The gap between your expectations and your reality. Imagine you start learning English. You are excited. You buy the books, you download the apps. Your expectation is a straight line going up. You think, if I study for 1 hour a day, in 30 days, I will be 30 times better. That is the expectation. But reality? Reality is messy. Reality is a flat line. You study for a week and you feel great. But then week 2 comes and you forget words. Week 3 comes and you can't understand a movie. You feel like you are moving backward. And that is when the pain starts. You look at your effort, which is high, and you look at your results, which seem low, and the math doesn't add up. You think, this isn't fair. And when something feels unfair, the human heart wants to walk away. There is a concept in psychology called the Valley of Despair. It sounds dramatic, doesn't it? But it is very real. When you start anything new, you are on Mount Stupid. You are confident because you don't know how hard it is yet. But as you learn more, you realize how much you don't know. You fall off the mountain and land in the Valley of Despair. It is dark down there. It is lonely. This is the place where 90% of people quit. This is the place where you say, I will never be fluent, or I will never get that job. But here is what I need you to understand deep in your bones. The valley of despair is not a dead end. It is a tunnel. The only way out is through. You cannot climb back up the way you came. You have to keep walking in the dark. And I know, walking in the dark is scary. You don't know how long the tunnel is. Is it 1 mile? Is it 10 miles? You are walking on faith alone. And today, on Mira's English podcast, I want to be the flashlight in that tunnel. I cannot walk the path for you, but I can show you the walls. I can show you that you are moving forward, even when it feels like you are standing still. Let's talk about the biology of quitting for a moment. I want to take the emotion out of it and look at the science. When you are stressed, when you are overwhelmed, your body releases cortisol. This is the stress hormone. High levels of cortisol kill your creativity. They fog your memory. So when you are stressing about not learning fast enough, you are chemically making it harder for your brain to learn. It is a vicious cycle. You stress because you are not learning, and you cannot learn because you are stressed. So, step 1 of not giving up is to stop fighting yourself. Take a deep breath with me right now. Forgive yourself for being tired. Forgive yourself for not being perfect. You are not a machine. You are a garden, and a garden does not bloom all year round. There are seasons of winter. There are seasons where everything looks dead on the surface, but underneath the soil, the roots are growing deeper than ever. Have you heard the story of the Chinese bamboo tree? It is a cliché in the self-help world, but clichés are clichés because they are true. When you plant a bamboo seed, you have to water it and fertilize it every single day. For the first year, nothing happens. You see nothing breaking the soil. For the second year, still nothing. The third year, nothing. The fourth year, nothing. Imagine that. 4 years of working every day, watering the dirt, protecting the soil, and seeing absolutely zero results. Your neighbors would call you crazy. They would say, "Why are you wasting water on a patch of dirt? Give up, move on." And in that moment, giving up looks like the logical choice. It looks like the smart choice. But then, in the 5th year, something happens. Within 6 weeks, that bamboo tree shoots up to 80 feet tall. 80 feet in 6 weeks. Now, let me ask you a question. Did the tree grow 80 feet in 6 weeks? Or did it grow 80 feet in 5 years? The answer is 5 years. If at any point in those first 4 years the farmer had stopped watering, the tree would have died in the ground. The growth was happening. It was just underground. It was developing a root system strong enough to support the massive height it was destined to reach. You, my dear listener, you are in your underground phase right now. You are studying English vocabulary, and you feel like you can't speak yet. You are working on your project, and no one is clapping. You are being kind to people who are not kind to you, and you see no reward. You think nothing is happening, but you are building roots. You are building the character, the discipline, and the resilience that will support your future success. Do not cut down your tree just because you cannot see the leaves yet. But I know, metaphors about trees are nice, but feelings are hard. What do you actually do when the feeling of quitting is so strong that it physically hurts? When you wake up and think, "I literally cannot do this anymore," we need to talk about the illusion of the finish line. Often, we want to quit because the finish line seems too far away. You look at fluency or success as this mountain peak that is miles and miles away. And you look at your feet, and you are just taking tiny steps. The distance is overwhelming. When you feel like giving up, it is usually because you are looking at how far you have to go, instead of looking at how far you have come. We are so cruel to ourselves. We ignore our progress. Can you remember when you couldn't understand a single word of English? Can you remember when you were afraid to even say hello? Can you remember the version of you from 5 years ago? That person would be so proud of who you are today. But you are too busy looking at the mountain to appreciate the view from where you are standing. I want to share a personal moment with you. There was a time when I wanted to quit this very podcast. I remember recording an episode, editing it for hours, pouring my heart into it. I uploaded it, and it got maybe 10 views, and 5 of them were my family. I felt embarrassed. I felt small. The voice in my head said, "Mira, nobody cares. You are not a broadcaster. You are just talking to yourself. Stop embarrassing yourself." I closed my laptop. I walked away. I didn't record for weeks. I sat in that valley of despair. But then I received one comment, just one. It said, "I was having a terrible day, and your voice made me feel less alone. Thank you." That one comment didn't make me famous. It didn't make me rich, but it reminded me of my why. We often give up because we trade our why for wow. We stop doing things because we love them or because they matter. And we start doing them for applause, for likes, for the wow factor. And when the applause doesn't come, the fuel runs out. If you feel like quitting today, ask yourself, why did I start? Did you start learning English to impress strangers? Or did you start because you wanted to connect with the world? Because you wanted to open doors for your future family? Because you fell in love with a culture? Go back to the start. Go back to the innocence of your why. That is where the energy is. We have so much more to talk about. We need to talk about the specific tools you can use to trick your brain into keeping going. We need to talk about how to rest without quitting. And I have some stories of famous failures that will shock you. But for now, just sit with this thought. Roots grow in the dark. You are not failing. You are growing roots. Stay with me. In the next part, we are going to walk through the fire together. Welcome back to the light. If you are still listening, it means you have chosen to stay. You have chosen to keep walking through the tunnel, and that choice alone is a victory. I want to tell you a story. It is not a fairy tale. It is a story about the word no. We are all afraid of that word, aren't we? No feels like a door slamming in your face. No feels like rejection. No feels like the world telling you that you are wrong. Imagine a woman. She is sitting in a crowded cafe in Edinburgh. It is raining outside, a cold, gray Scottish rain. She has a baby sleeping in a stroller next to her. She has no job. She has almost no money. She is living on government benefits. She is battling severe depression. By every standard of society, she has failed. But she has an idea. She has a boy wizard living in her head. She writes her story. It takes her years. When she finally types the end, she feels a spark of hope. She sends it to a publisher, and the answer comes back, no. She sends it to another publisher, no. And another, and another. 12 times. 12 different publishers looked at her work, her soul on paper, and said, "This is garbage. Nobody wants to read this. It is too long. It is too weird." Imagine how she felt after the 10th rejection. The voice in her head must have been screaming, "Give up. Look at the facts. Professionals are telling you to stop. Why are you so stubborn?" It would have been so easy to throw the manuscript in the trash. It would have been reasonable. Nobody would have blamed her. But she didn't. She sent it to the 13th publisher. And today, we know her as J.K. Rowling. And that boy wizard is Harry Potter. Those 12 publishers didn't just say no to a book. They said no to a billion-dollar empire. They said no to magic. Why am I telling you this? Because you are going to hear no in your life. Maybe the no comes from a job interview. Maybe it comes from a visa application. Or maybe the no is coming from inside you. Maybe you are the publisher rejecting your own story before it even has a chance to be read. Resilience is not about never failing. Resilience is about refusing to let no be the final word. When life pushes you down, you have two choices. You can stay down, or you can use the ground to push yourself back up. Rejection is just a redirection. It is just the universe saying, "Not this way, try another path." Now, let's bring this closer to home. Let's talk about something very specific that makes many of you want to quit: the English learning plateau. I know how you feel. I know many of you listening to this podcast are learning English, and I know exactly where you get stuck. It is the intermediate trap. In the beginning, learning is fun. You learn cat, dog, hello, how are you? Every day brings a new word. You feel the progress. It is addictive. But then, you hit the wall. You reach a level where you can understand maybe 60 or 70% of a conversation. You can order food, you can introduce yourself, but you cannot express your soul. You cannot tell a joke. You cannot explain complex feelings. You feel like a child trapped in an adult's body. And you study more. You watch more movies, but you don't feel like you are getting better. You make the same grammar mistakes again and again. You forget words you learned last week. You listen to native speakers and they speak so fast it sounds like noise. And you think, I have reached my limit. My brain is too old. I am not talented at languages. I should just stop. Listen to me. You have not reached your limit. You have reached the testing ground. This plateau is where the real work happens. Think of it like building muscle at the gym. When you first start lifting weights, your muscles grow fast. You see the difference in the mirror quickly. But after a year, the visible changes stop. You are still lifting, sweating, hurting, but the mirror looks the same. Does that mean the exercise isn't working? No, it means the change has moved from visible to structural. You are hardening the muscle density. You are building endurance. Language is the same. When you feel stuck, your brain is actually consolidating information. It is taking all those words floating in your short-term memory and weaving them into your long-term neural networks. You are not stalling, you are marinating. This phase is boring, it is frustrating, it is unsexy. But this is the phase that separates the tourists from the residents. Tourists leave when it stops being fun. Residents stay because they want to live there. Do you want to be a tourist in the English language, or do you want to live here? So, how do we survive the plateau without quitting? How do we keep walking when the view hasn't changed for miles? We need to shift our mindset. We need to stop focusing on the goal and start falling in love with the process. There is a concept I love called the power of yet. It comes from a brilliant psychologist named Carol Dweck. She noticed that some students crumbled when they failed, while others got excited. The difference was one little word, yet. Instead of saying, I don't understand this podcast, say, I don't understand this podcast, yet. Instead of saying, I can't speak fluently, say, I can't speak fluently, yet. Do you feel the difference? I can't is a door locking. It is final. It is a dead end. I can't yet is a door opening. It implies that success is inevitable. It is just a matter of time. It tells your brain that the destination is already on the map. You just haven't arrived at the station. Giving up is a permanent solution to a temporary problem. Your frustration with English is temporary. Your tiredness is temporary. Your confusion is temporary. But if you quit, that regret is permanent. I remember a student of mine, let's call him Ken. Ken was 50 years old. He wanted to learn English to speak to his son-in-law, who was American. Ken struggled. Oh, he struggled so much. His pronunciation was heavy. He mixed up he and she constantly. One day, he came to me and said, "Mira, I am too old. My memory is like a sieve. I quit." I told him, "Ken, give me 2 more months, but for these 2 months, stop trying to be perfect. Just try to be understood. Stop studying grammar books. Just listen to stories." He reluctantly agreed. He didn't quit. 6 months later, he sent me a video. He was at a dinner table. He was holding a glass of wine, and he was telling a simple, funny story to his son-in-law in English. Was the grammar perfect? No. Was the pronunciation perfect? No. But they were both laughing. The connection was there. The bridge was built. If Ken had quit that day he wanted to, that moment of laughter would never have existed. He would have sat at that dinner table in silence. What moments are you killing by quitting today? What connections will never happen if you stop now? You have the strength, I know you do. But relying on willpower alone is hard. Willpower is like a battery, it runs out. We need a system. We need tools that work when you are tired, when you are sad, and when you don't want to do it. In the next and final part of this episode, I am going to give you the survival kit. I am going to teach you the 5-minute rule that changes everything. And I am going to share with you a secret about comparison that will liberate you instantly. Don't go anywhere. We are almost at the breakthrough. Take a sip of water, stretch your shoulders, and let's finish this journey together. Because you didn't come this far just to come this far. Welcome to the final stretch. We have talked about the pain. We have talked about the plateau. Now let's talk about the how. How do you actually get out of bed when your motivation is at 0? How do you open that English book when your brain feels like stone? Here is your survival kit. Tool number 1. The 5-minute rule. The biggest enemy of progress is not laziness, it is overwhelm. When you look at a task like study English, your brain sees a mountain. It sees 1 hour of pain. So it freezes. It procrastinates to protect you. So lie to your brain. Yes, seriously, trick it. Tell yourself, I am not going to study for an hour. I am just going to study for 5 minutes. That's it, just 5 minutes. If I want to stop after 5 minutes, I have full permission to stop. Why does this work? Because anyone can do 5 minutes. It feels safe, it feels easy. But here is the magic. The hardest part of any task is starting. It is the friction of going from 0 to 1. Once you start, once you open the book and read the first sentence, the friction disappears. You will find that 90% of the time, once you finish those 5 minutes, you won't want to stop. You will keep going. You just needed permission to start small. Make showing up non-negotiable, but make the duration negotiable. Some days you run a marathon. Some days you crawl 1 inch. Both are movement. Just don't stop moving. Tool number 2, kill the comparison. We live in the age of Instagram English teachers and YouTube polyglots. You see a 20-year-old girl speaking 10 languages fluently, and you feel like garbage. You think, why is she so fast and I am so slow? Stop it, right now. You are comparing your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 20. You don't see their background. You don't see their private tutors. You don't know if they grew up bilingual. You are comparing your behind the scenes with their highlight reel. The only person you are allowed to compete with is you from yesterday. Did you learn one new phrase today? Yes? Then you won. That is the only victory that matters. Tool number 3. Learn the difference between quitting and resting. This is vital. If you are exhausted, if you are burned out, do not quit. Rest. There is a massive difference. Quitting is permanent. Resting is temporary. If your legs are tired from running, you don't cut off your legs. You sit down, you drink water, you wait, and then you stand up again. It is okay to take a break from English for a week. It is okay to close the project for a few days. Step away, breathe, sleep. But make a promise to yourself. I am resting to gather strength, not to escape. Set a date for your return. Put it on the calendar. I will rest for 3 days. On Thursday at 9 a.m., I am back. Now, I want to leave you with a perspective on time that changed my life. Often, we want to give up because the goal will take too long. You think, it will take me 2 years to become fluent in English. 2 years? That is too long. I can't wait that long. Here is the truth. The time will pass anyway. 2 years are going to pass whether you study English or not. 2 years are going to pass whether you work on your dream or you sit on the couch. The time is going to go. Imagine yourself 2 years from today. Option A, you gave up. The time passed. You are exactly where you are right now. Same struggles, same regrets, same wish that you spoke English. Option B, you kept going, slowly, imperfectly, but you didn't stop. The time passed, but now you are fluent. Now you have the job. Now you have the pride. Which version of you do you want to meet in 2 years? You are building that person right now with every minute you choose not to quit. Don't let the time scare you. Let the regret scare you. Learning a language is not just about words. It is a spiritual journey. It teaches you humility. It teaches you patience. It teaches you how to listen. If you can survive the journey of learning English, you can survive anything in life, because you have learned how to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. So the next time that voice in your head whispers, "Give up," I want you to smile. Smile and say, "Not today. Maybe tomorrow, but not today." And when tomorrow comes, say it again. Not today. I want to hear from you. Yes, you. If this episode touched something inside you, please scroll down to the comments. I want you to write one sentence. Just write, "I will not give up." Or tell me your story. Tell me what you are struggling with. Let's turn the comments section into a wall of resilience. Read the other comments. Support each other. You are not alone in this valley. We are a community walking through the tunnel together. Thank you for letting me be a small voice in your ear today. Thank you for your courage. Remember, you are capable, you are worthy, and you are closer than you think. This is Mira. Keep learning, keep growing, and I will see you on the other side.